Guys, so this is take 2 of this video. I was making a video and I was like 10 minutes in, and I was doing a community reading, Metatron's community reading, since I got some feedback about my last video on the Book of Enoch and Angel Message 444. I just stopped it because I was getting a nudge to really direct the video on what's going on with Azerbaijan and Armenia. Karabakh is officially Karabakh since the 90s, since the early 90s war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Artsakh was officially, we won. Okay. So unfortunately, the world map never has put that it is Armenia, but officially it's Armenia. So apparently yesterday there has been some fights of the soldiers, the Azerbaijan and Armenian soldiers, back and forth. So Metatron Enoch has guided me to stop that video and direct what it is that I have to say. So I put on my Star of David, or my 6-pointed star pendant for this one, and it sits right in the middle of my Metatron's cube, where the sun is placed. This is where the sun is placed. The 13th tribe, which Armenia is the 13th tribe, and I got my ram out there, and Armenians are known to be a very patriotic ram fighters. Our dances involve ram fighting. So it's funny because I think it was last week where I posted that video, and intuitively I just posted that video that there's going to be conflicts, where I put that video, go ahead, destroy Armenia, go watch it. So I'm going to do, you know what it is? If I really get really into political things, they're playing around. They want this war. They want another war because it's going to lead to World War III. And as the government, they all know, Armenia is a very old, ancient culture. They know all the secrets about the Armenians. They know. So they're, they're doing it on purpose. It's all a plot. And I don't want to get too much into detail because there are some really sensitive people who, if I really get into detail about cultures and why they're doing this and what their intentions are, but I'm not going to leave it. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to do a message because there was a boy, has been wounded. Oh my gosh, look what cards came out. Yeah, a boy has been wounded. 2 cards just came flying right out. A boy has been wounded, a little boy, and so my heart goes out to him. And this is not just for Armenians, this is for in the future, and this is for any child. Children they're the future. There are every mother's, every father's pride and joy. So I'm sure you guys have kids, and for those who have children, you know what I'm talking about. So look what we got here. We have the 3 of clubs, and this is Thor striking ahead with a ram. And look at that, we've got a ram in the background, and Armenia is associated with rams. If you look up the dances Yarkhushta and Kochari in the Armenian culture, which is my ancestors' dances, because my ancestors come from Sasun, which they were freedom fighters, they're the ones that it's become a national patriotic dance, where Armenians as a whole nation, we do this dance. And it's a military dance, it's a war dance, it's funny because Azerbaijan, they are originally, it's a new culture, it's not an old culture. Azerbaijan used to be Albania, okay, not the European Albania, but they were another culture called Albania. And they were originally Iranians, and the government has mixtures of Jewish and Muslim, but there are a lot of Jewish Azerbaijanis, okay? Like I said, I don't want to get into too much detail about cultures and religions, because at the end of the day, government is a government. They're all corrupt. They all have their whatever. And I'm not going to take sides, but come on. they do it on purpose. They attack the children on purpose so that another war goes, so that they can get World War III to begin. So, speaking of this, I'd like to say that I wasn't gonna, because it's a 3, and March 30th, which was 3 and 3, I was walking to work, and I found this, like, on the floor right in front of my foot, and I guess some kid, he drew up his name David, and it's a box, it's a cube, right? 4 corners with red and yellow or gold. And if you look at it, it's 4, which equals to 8, or 4 and 4, okay, which, you know, the Book of Enoch video that I made, and then I counted how many this kid put of these lines for the little, and it's 8. And then this 4 corners, so it's highly symbolic. That's another reason why I brought this out. Okay, so it's highly symbolic. And I feel like there's a lot of people, like, there's a lot being forced upon the world right now. And when I pulled out the Metatron's cube, I was actually doing a Metatron community reading. And one thing that popped out for me, and intuitively I was going, but I stopped during the reading, was in the month of May, there's going to be some worldwide things happening, and it's happening now that not many people know is happening, and it's happening in a very slow manner. But there's going to be some serious changes on this planet, and not to alarm or scare people, but, you know, I'm a messenger, I'm an owl messenger, and I'm a spiritual guide, and as a shaman, when I feel nudges to speak up, I feel that right now I'm doing what I need to do by speaking up. So, whether they choose to fight back the Armenians, like, look at Thor, do you see the thunder? Either way, they're trying to provoke a war. That's what their intention is, okay? There is an intention to provoke a war. There's 2 rams here. There's the chariot. This card is all about the chariot. The number 3 is all about the chariot, okay? So, taking charge. And despite the lighting in here, there's a few actually soldiers being thrown to the ground. So there looks like there definitely is some soldiers fighting each other, okay? Oh, another thing that I want to say is Azerbaijan, you know, they're a new culture, so-called culture, and they speak Russian and Turkish mixed. They consider themselves to be Turks, but the Turkish culture is not a real culture either. However, what I'd like to say is they have stolen a lot of, Turkish and Azerbaijan has stolen a lot of the Armenian culture, the dances, okay? They also have stolen the Kochari dance, which is the authentic Armenian dances from my ancestors, okay? So, which is the ram dance, and they have stolen it, and they have, to outdo the Armenians, because we are the 13th tribe, they have always had the intention to destroy Armenia, whether it's the governments, whether it's the Turkish and the Azerbaijan cultures. They've stolen a lot, and they used the name, you know, they've used the name Kochari, and Kochari, like I said, is a ram dance, and it was always Armenian, it was never Azeri. And it's like, if you're they wanted to outdo the Armenians with their own dance, because a certain god or a certain entity or a certain strength is being invoked, which is the ram spirit taking charge and hitting with the head, okay? So as you can see in the back there. So, I mean, like I said, I don't want to get into detail. If you look it up, you'll know what I mean. And in almost every video you'll find on YouTube with Armenians dancing the Kochari, you'll find an Azerbaijan person, like, disrespecting an Armenian, saying it's theirs. But there was no such thing as Azeris back then. They were called Albanians. So, anyways, the second card that came out is the Queen of Hearts. And it's funny because I said a little boy was wounded. So what I'm seeing here is, I'm seeing here a queen who's showing the world this It could be the future king. It just fell, so that means yeah. It could be the future king, and there's a knight here protecting, or it could possibly, and it could possibly mean that that boy that has been wounded is going to be healed, and he's going to be in intensive care, and he's going to get better, and nothing is going to be a serious damage there. But I do see that these are very highly symbolic. I myself, I'm the queen, okay? You're dealing with the queen here. So, you know, I'm sending out loving energies to everyone, and I'm sending out whatever happens in the next 6 months, 5 months, a year, worldwide, whatever it is that they're trying to provoke. I'm sending out love to everybody, that, you know, at least to balance what it is that they are intentionally trying to send out to the world, because there are so many, they're trying to scare everybody, you know. And where'd this come from? There's a piece. Oh my gosh, I don't know where this just came from. I have no idea where this came from. Look at that. It's a peace sign. Oh god, that's funny. Honestly. Oh my gosh, look at, I don't know where this came from. Anyways, I'm gonna pull out another card. I don't want to talk too much, but oh my god, so I said the month of May, something's gonna happen. So number 5 came out again. And here we have 3 women. This kind of is symbolic to me with the, I'm picking up something with, in the Armenian heritage, in the Armenian culture, in our ancient dances, there is a specific dance, if not few of them, where the women, they dance with pots and the water. There's also the ancient pagan dance that we still celebrate. It's called Vartivar, but and what they do is they spill water on each other, and it was associated with the goddess Astrik, who is Astarte, who is Inanna, who is Ishtar. So they still kind of go with that, and they go to the Garni temple. So that's highly symbolic. And it's also that Armenians are natural healers. Their culture, their dances, they know how to balance certain things out. So I feel with this whole Karabakh and the Armenian and Azerbaijan conflict, I feel what's going on there at this moment in time is there are females, it could be in groups, they could be in dances, or just like the civilians there that are balancing. There's shamans there. There's a lot of shamans in Armenia and the villages. I feel that they're what these ladies are doing is they're connecting to spirit, and they're just really balancing everything out, what's happening, not just for them, but in the world right now, okay? And I know that, you know, they're very, you have to understand, us North Americans, we are very spoiled compared to other people around the world, not just Armenians, but other people, okay? There's so much that goes on in this world that us North Americans, we take so much advantage of, okay? We take so much advantage, and I'm going to keep it at that. We take so much advantage of our everyday life that we should be grateful for what we have, because so much goes on this planet. And I know everybody's talking World War III is about to occur and everything of that nature, but you know what? Like I said, you got to keep the balance, and you got to prepare yourself, you know, and it's not, you can't control what happens outside of you, but when you're prepared in terms of strengthening your root, taking care of your body, taking care of your soul, it eases, it balances certain things for yourself, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to say any more, but I'm glad I spoke up about this, because like I said, I was doing a full 30-minute Metatron's Cube community reading, and I was stopped. Literally, Enoch, his spirit, stopped me and pushed me to move this forward. I literally put on my 6-pointed star of David pendant on, because it literally sits right on the sun, and Armenia means men of the sun. So he's guiding me to do this, to keep my heart balanced, and to send out this loving energy. Again, not just to the Armenians, but to people who need it. Because there's people, they're kind of not knowing what to expect. They're getting visions, World War III, this, that. So like I said, got to keep the balance, guys, okay? Go out in nature. Keep your body, mind, and soul intact. I love everybody. Sending blessings. Take care, okay?